All right, folks, it is time for comments from trolls, and I might just have to share this with everybody in general because I can't fucking believe that somebody would spend this much. Well, actually, I probably should believe it because some of the comments we've got here where I'm like, oh, yeah, I can see why somebody would want to spend so much of their fucking time in life writing a comment like this. And it's possible that this whole thing was copied and pasted, or it could be that this is a bot. I don't know.
Could be.
Happens. So this comes from a guy by the name of Mornay Terblanche, which sounds like a fake name or a Star Wars name. Channel doesn't have any content. I don't know anything about this person. But it was about the Brian Fisher. We were talking about dinosaurs with Brian Fisher. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All I remember is that I took a picture of two T-Rexes fucking and I put it on as the thumbnail. So, like, people are like, what am I looking at? I'm like, you know what you're looking at. He starts it off, flaws not taught is what he's talking about. So apparently he's taking the biblical beliefs of creation. And
okay.
Unfortunately, evolution is taught as an absolute fact.
Well, that's because it is?
But it's not, because it's a theory. I mean, that's about the most... We don't say that this is the only way. This is 100% exactly everything the way that we say it is going to be, because that's not how fucking science works. We always leave that little bit of wiggle room just in case.
Right, right. There's always the wiggle room, but it's
more than
it's not even so much wiggle room. It is until otherwise demonstrated, this is how it is.
Exactly. So it is sad that public education doesn't reveal the weaknesses in this theory. Okay, so we'll get to that in a second. They refuse to show the roaring silence of evidence of transitional fossils, and that's his first subheading down here is transitional fossils. They decline to state how much that such random mutations cannot possibly increase an organism's capabilities.
Uh...
You're not taking alleles out of the DNA strand, though. That's the thing. We're not removing and it's not information like they think it's information.
Right.
It's not removing an allele. It's just going, for this dip switch, we're going to go the other way. You know, that's all that really is.
Yeah. It's
but even then, it's not a binary system. It's not.
No, it's not, and it's not all entirely positive. There's lots of neutral change, but it is the accumulation. So if the main complaint there is that evolution doesn't allow for or account for additional complexity, I guess is the easiest way to put it.
An organism's capabilities is what he's saying here.
Increase its capabilities, but
that's loaded language to begin with.
I mean, that is hugely loaded, but that is exactly what it does.
It sounds almost like this guy's trying to make like an X-Men argument, like you're not going to see mutants coming about that have lasers coming from their eyes, kind of thing. It's like, yeah, because we don't have anything analogous in nature to show that lasers from eyes is a thing.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, his next one is they fail to say how such complexities of life forms could have occurred by random chance or blind luck. Luck has absolutely fucking nothing to do with it. You know?
No, it doesn't. But yeah, it kind of does.
It is completely blind. Blind chance is the best way of saying it. You know,
blind chance
not random
really
chance
is. But yeah, it's not random. But blind chance, sure. But
I know
it doesn't.
It's hard. They don't reveal the impossibility of life developing on its own.
It has nothing to do with evolution.
Yeah, I was about to say that's nothing to do with evolution. They ignore the fact that spontaneous generation has never been proven, except in your guys' Bible, apparently. And in fact, is a concept ridiculed by biologists.
No, it's not.
Because it's laughable of oh, he's talking spontaneous generation as in abiogenesis kind of thing. Okay. I thought he was talking about how creation is laughed at by biologists. I read that wrong.
Abiogenesis is not laughed at by biologists. It's an entire field of study. Sure, yeah. They laugh at an entire field of study.
The theory of evolution doesn't have any real idea on how life arose.
Right, because
Different
that's
study,
not,
you know.
Yeah, that's not what it does.
Evolutionists, and we already know whose side this guy is on when he says a word like that, readily admit that the theory of evolution doesn't address the question on how life arose, but how it evolved once it did arise.
Right.
That's you just shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing and not the other. He says, if you were to teach anything else in the public schools without having concrete evidence, it would be confined to philosophy, where pure conjecture, speculation, and hypothetical assumptions would be discussed.
No, that's not philosophy. That's theology.
Yeah. Pure conjecture and speculation. No, that's not philosophy at all.
No.
Oh man, if we had Aaron Rabbi on here, like, hey, this guy thinks what philosophy means this, and he'd be like, the fuck are you guys talking about?
No, that's not even close to philosophy.
How evolution is thought to be factual without lines of evidence is simply astounding, the guy says.
Yeah.
And so he has like 8 or 9 subsections here.
Jesus.
Lack of transitional fossils. Like, this is a comment on YouTube.
Yeah, they're all transitional fossils. But for fuck's sake, just because you don't understand the evidence doesn't mean there is none.
The next one is the origin of... I mean, there's like paragraphs of shit in between each one of these. The origin of a species. Sadly, evolutionists do not include as part of the theory of evolution the answer to how life arose in the first place. Okay, so we're not going to worry about that one. If life did come via extraterrestrial source, then how did life arise? Exactly. You fall into infinite regress where you're trying to say, well, it came from space. Well, where did the space life form come from? It came from another space life form. It's like, okay, where'd that one come from?
Yeah.
No matter how much we keep going further and further back in the regress there, it's like, we're never going to land on God did it.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you continue to look at evolution for an answer to this question, you're never going to find it.
Because we're going from the point of where we have the oldest record of this thing and beyond in phylogeny. You know, it's not...
That's what evolution covers. But even abiogenesis, there are some fantastic studies and some fantastic experiments that have been done that have really, really compelling hypotheses and evidences for how this could have happened. They will probably never, even if they manage to spontaneously create life in a laboratory setting, they will never be able to say, this is absolutely how it happened. They will be able to say, this is how it could have happened. This is how we replicated it. They can't say, this is how it definitely happened in this one case right here.
Unless they put it into some sort of computer simulation and make it run through trillions of years of shit, you know.
Sure, but even then it would be, hey, here's what a simulation says, but more than likely that simulation would kick out. It's like, well, here are the dozen different possibilities.
Well, here's what I was trying to do. I was trying to make a Spaceballs joke.
Oh.
So you get to a part where you're like, where are we in the movie now?
Oh.
We're in the now part of the movie now.
Now.
You know, that reference is lost on so many fucking people because they've never watched Spaceballs because it's a fucking old movie now. I have to realize that a movie from my youth is now a old fucker movie. You know?
Yeah. Holy shit. I remember going to see that at the drive-in.
Oh my God. I'm surrounded by assholes, sir.
Oh God. Mel Brooks is a genius.
Oh man. The complexity of life is another one. He's talking about the DNA, RNA happening by chance. And it's the equivalent of throwing a stick of dynamite into a printing factory and have it come out with the U.S. Constitution.
No, it's not.
How you can't have information without intelligence, and
Yeah, sure you can.
this puddle fits me just fine, says the water. You know,
Damn it. The problem is what fucking drives me crazy, because early life, the earliest forms of life, the oldest forms of life that we have found or have evidence for or know about were incredibly simple. You could not look at that and go, "Wow, that's incredibly complex."
Well, it's like I learned last week by looking into this shit that bacteria, like, I can't say bacteria, but viruses in particular are not eukaryotes. I did not know that until last week. I was like, oh, that's fucking fascinating. So.
Yeah, they're bizarre as shit. The thing is, you start with something incredibly simple, and through the process of evolution, you arrive at something complex, for lack of a better word, because it's change upon change upon change upon change, and it's never replacing information. It's adding to it.
We would say that it almost like it would benefit most species to have some level of an X amount of complexity to them.
Yeah.
Up to a point, because we have shown that, you know, you have, like, I want to say big amphibious reptiles. You can't say amphibious reptiles. They're either reptiles or amphibians. But like alligators have been around for a long fucking time on this planet.
Yeah. And
same thing with like horseshoe crabs are essentially like forebears of trilobites and shit like that. And it's just
yeah, there is complex life that their genetic structure is less dense, and I hate using their own terms, but it contains less information than we do. But more information isn't necessarily good, because we have examples of humans that contain
corner tomatoes that has like wildly more genes than we have. You know?
Yeah, it's one of them, but even if you take a human and they are born with extra genetic information, that's Down syndrome.
Or Superwoman syndrome. You know?
Yeah, they have extra chromosomes, which means they have much more genetic information in them than you do.
Wait, I thought Stephen King told us that people with Down syndrome are actually aliens that are here to fight other bad aliens. Wait,
well,
nobody saw Dreamcatcher. Nobody fucking saw that movie.
But the thing is, it's just because you have more information.
All right, this and he brings up the cosmological argument, which is the whatever begins to exist has a cause, and that's our premise one for that argument. I've always had problems with that.
Because it's loaded.
Yeah, whatever begins to exist has a cause.
Not necessarily.
Let's do a whole nother video on
sure. Yeah, okay, sure, fine. It has a cause. Fine. Something had to happen, but still doesn't.
But premise number two is the universe began to exist.
Well,
if the universe has always been, you know,
sure. But even if we, as far as we can tell, yeah, sure, as we know it in its current state, yeah, we can only look back so far.
And point three is, therefore, the universe had a cause. But this is William
caused it to exist. I mean,
this is William Lane Craig, like his favorite argument that he likes to give.
Sure, it does, but it's still even a problematic argument, because even if it did have a cause, there is absolutely nothing within that argument itself that says that cause could not be completely and entirely naturalistic.
Yeah, exactly. No, instead, we have to go, well, it has to be a god. That's their fallacious way of thinking on this whole thing.
Yeah, no, not necessarily.
And there's more. God, there's a fucking lot more, but we're already at like 15 minutes on this thing, and I am not going to fucking go into it anymore, because
well,
a troll, I mean, maybe he got his way because the troll set out to troll us, and here we are arguing their points.
Well, they're really shitty points. Let's just
Fucking
put it there.
though. Yeah, let's put it that way. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you with another one next week. Hopefully more of the somebody calling Kyle a cunt, or
Yeah, that would be good. Go ahead.
No, we did get a bunch of people like right into us saying that, hey, how about I include semicolons at every sentence structure now that I send to you guys? And I'm like, no, fucking don't do that, because
Well, if you use them correctly, sure.
well, no, they're just like injecting them in the. He's like, I'm going to start using semicolons instead of ellipses.
Well,
because we went hard on the guy's grammar last week, and
that's because he used ellipses wrong.
so if anybody wants to find that we this comment is on the Brian Fisher, I don't remember which one exactly.
Yeah, if you want to go deconstruct argument by argument, have at it
by all means. But realize he's not paying attention to that.
No, he's not going to. He's not going to pay attention. But you know what?
He did a drive-by. He got his attention. That's all he needed.
Yeah,
so.
But you know what? It's good exercise.
Yep. Have the rigor, at least, like
stretch
out. You know, it feels good every once in a while to stretch out the legs and be like, all right, I haven't fought this one in a long time. Let's bring this up, you know.